Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Leadnap Gaming. Today we're going to talk about 3.9 as we wait for it to drop. We're going to answer a couple questions from last week's review and of course talk about those giveaways.
Systems activated. Systems on.
Here we are once again on the precipice of another quarterly patch. We're in that weird doldrums phase that I always talk about where people are really ready for the new content, but they're not really flying around in the verse yet. But it's kind of weird because right now, for some people, there's a lot of time to get in there and play in the verse. That's not true for me. I've been incredibly busy with my work, but I do want to start out by just saying I hope you're all doing great. Second to that, yes, 2,000 subscribers, and don't think we're going to forget about that, but if you go no further in the video, I did want to early on extend my thank you to all of you. This couldn't have been done without you, and I really appreciate your support. 2,000 was a big milestone for me, and I'm really glad we could hit it. So, with that said, I want to talk a little bit about last week's video before we jump into 3.9, kind of where we're at in the verse, right? So, last week, I got a lot of questions about the throttle, a couple of the things that I just wanted to kind of circle back to and answer, just some questions that often came up. Just, it's easier for me to address it this way in one shot. So, first off, yes, for the most part in Star Citizen, I fly keyboard and mouse. Now, this has a lot to do with me personally, what I like to do in the verse, how I like to do things in the verse, and not so much that there's only one way to do things. I'm not a big dog fighter, which you've probably figured out by now. Because I'm not a big dog fighter, I fly the big ships, cargo ships. I love flying cargo ships. I also like to do some drop ships, which is probably the most aggressive thing I do. With that said, the sloppier controls that keyboard and mouse are theoretically giving you works perfectly fine for me. If you are the kind of person who likes, the way I said it last week, if you still fly, like hover mode still exists, you're probably, even in the larger ships, going to like using HOTAS, right? If you're a dogfighter, dual sticks is probably the only way to go. I know some great dogfighters that do go keyboard and mouse, so it's not to say you can't do it, but a lot of old timers, a lot of really good dogfighters all swear that you really need to be a dual stick setup to truly fly. And if you've been around long enough, you can actually know if someone's flying with sticks or not just by the way they're flying. And what should probably tell you too, you can tell from my footage even when I'm trying stuff out with sticks and when I'm not, which I'm not in this video because the X56 is having issues, which is probably a great way to continue talking about sticks. The X56 looks really cool and it's got a bunch of buttons and doodads and things, and the damn thing is giving me more trouble than it's worth. In fact, I'm actually this weekend putting the TM16000 back on my rig so I can do some DCS flying as well, which, a quick shout out to that. There's been some interest from people that are like, oh, well, I'm really interested in checking out DCS. Right now, due to the whole COVID thing, they're doing a free fly event, so every 2 days it switches. But for those that don't know, DCS is entirely free to play. You get one map, you get 2 aircraft automatically. They're free. You don't ever have to pay anything. The way the game stays afloat is by selling modules, also known as aircraft. And this will probably feel a little familiar to Star Citizen, except the aircraft themselves can be in an early access state. And right now, you have the opportunity to check out different ones and, see if the game really floats your boat. But you will need a HOTAS. You can technically do it with a keyboard and mouse, but really you can't. So just wanted to throw that out there. If you were interested in that, this would be a great time to check it out. Back to the TM16000. It doesn't look great, right? That's why a lot of people kind of skip it or ignore it, but the stick construction and quality is fantastic. When I talked about the throttle, I said, finite movements are really difficult with it, and a lot of people took that to mean the long-standing issue of the throttle being sticky, and it's just the way it connects with the tracks. That's actually really easy to fix. You unscrew the bottom, you unscrew the connection to the track, you lube it up really nicely, You put it all back together and it slides like nothing's even there. That isn't actually what I was talking about, though. What I was talking about was just linear distance. So with the rotary throttles like the X56, the actual linear distance of travel that the sensor has is longer than the track on the TM 16000. So it's just a difference that 1 centimeter of travel on the Thrustmaster is a greater distance than 1 centimeter is on the X56, for example, which just simply means I have more granular control. That's really the difference I was talking about there. And it's significant enough in what I do in the F-16 that I don't want to just go back to the Thrustmaster, because honestly, if that wasn't there, I would have returned the X-56 without even thinking about it and would have stuck with the TM16000. Those are some of the big things. The last thing I want to say about sticks is this. A lot of people asked, is it worth it? Yes, I think it is. It's a great thing to go ahead and try. But we've spent enough time talking about last week. Let's get into this week. 3.9. A lot of negativity going on in the world, and I just really wanted to focus on what I'm most excited about with 3.9 coming. Now, first and foremost, what has to be most important in that entire discussion is, yes, it's pretty much on time. Now, I know some people were hoping it would be in PTU this week. You know what? It's not so bad. It's due to be here in the next couple weeks, and probably PTU next week, right? So we're looking at it's about to be here. And that's really good news given the state of, well, the real world economy and just everybody being at home. You know, there was definitely potential for CIG to take this as an excuse and say, look, guys, 3.9 is going to be here sometime in the summer. Instead, we're pretty much on target, and that is huge. I can't push that aside, and I really have to give CIG credit for actually sticking to this deadline pretty damn well. So with that said, next up, the Prowler. So I've had a Prowler in my hangar. I've had a Valkyrie in my hangar, but a Prowler in my hangar for a very long time. This is one of the ships that I'm really excited about, but I didn't realize I'd be this excited about. So I'm having like Carrack level excitement over the Prowler, which is kind of funny because I didn't think that was going to happen. I mean, the Carrack is the Carrack, right? And I was like, whew, I was so excited to see it. And even though we've seen the interior, which I'll take a moment here to just say, I'm probably not going to play PTU, and I'll talk about that in a moment, but the Prowler, we've seen it. We know what it looks like inside. Why, there's not this level of like, I can't wait to see where they put everything and how everything looks. We already know all that, right? I'm excited just to have it and fly it and play with it. And I'm more excited than I thought I'd be. And that's pretty cool. The Prowler's coming. It's going to be fun. Not a lot of people have Prowlers. A lot of people have them because they look cool, but a lot of people have ended up, dumping them for other ships, either because, well, drop ships don't do a whole lot in the verse. Now and probably ever. I love drop ships, like I mentioned earlier, so it's definitely in my collection because I'm trying to collect them all. But it's really cool. It's really expensive because it's alien tech, but it's going to have that kind of rare wow factor eventually, and so I'm kind of excited about that too. The next thing is really actually much higher on my list, again, than I thought it would be, but it's been so rough lately. The no-fly zone rework, right? The restricted area rework that's coming, I'm actually really excited about that, and they haven't given us a whole lot on it. And so it's kind of moved by the wayside for a lot of people, but I'm actually really excited about that. Landing at some of these areas is such a pain in the ass because, you can't see the lines, you're not sure where it is, and so a rework of that, I'm really looking forward to that as well. Of course, we have new Babbage and 3 new moons, and what's more to say, it's new places to go and check stuff out, so that's pretty cool. Not as excited about the renaming of all the R&Rs. The number system made a lot more sense to me. The random name generator thing just made it kind of weird, but whatever, They are what they are. It's not game-breaking by any means, but I'm excited to have new places to go, and I'm going to take a moment here to kind of explain why I'm not really going to go into PTU. You've probably noticed by now, this video I could be showing you the latest footage from inside Star Citizen, and I could be showing you all this stuff. And I'm not going to. And I'm not going into the PTU this time around. I went in to get for the Carrot last time. But I like to wait for the patch to release to go see these places. And in fact, I haven't watched the most recent Inside Star Citizen because I want to be able to go experience New Babbage and see it. I'm actually, when 3.9 drops, I'm not going to spawn in at New Babbage. I'm going to fly there. I'm going to fly there. I'm going to land there. I'm going to get off my ship just like I would have in real life. And that's how I want to experience New Babbage. So come along with the journey for me in the future on that. But just so you know, I'm probably going to wait out PTU here just to kind of see that stuff. There's no reason to show you guys the Prowler. You've seen it all. And I couldn't tell you much more than they've already shown us. It's not like the Carrack where you're not sure, hey, what's behind that door that they walked by, right? So with that said, one of the last 3.9 things I'm super excited about is the player status system. I'm excited about it because it's a game mechanic that has always been promised and is supposed to be a major kind of pillar of the game. And now we're getting that. So we're getting a new thing where food's involved, which is cool. Body temperature, stuff like that's all really cool. Now, like a lot of sciencey stuff that CIG does, part of me kind of wonders, did they actually talk to some scientists to do some of this? Because it's a little wonky. But that said, I'm very excited for it coming. It's going to be really fun. It's really going to change the way we play. And while change is always hard, and there's always people that are mad about change, hover mode, new flight model, everything else, it's going to make going places a little more thought-provoking, make you think a little, make you do some stuff. It's really beginning to bring that physicalized inventory online, and I'm really excited about that too. So with that said, those are the big things in 3.9 I'm really excited about. Now, I didn't mention prisons, I didn't mention some new characters, new suits, new kinds of other stuff. So in the comments, we can go ahead and talk about all the stuff you're really excited about, and please do, let's talk about it in the comments, because I love to hear what you guys say and what you guys are excited for, because I think it's really interesting. So let's talk a little bit about the channel. So first off, this video will be the final video I make in Adobe Premiere Pro 2019. I made the decision that in Q2, starting in April, I'll make the transition to 2020. What that means is there might, again, continue to be a little bit of delays getting videos out as I figure out where they changed and moved things and kind of get some of the new features down. So bear with me with that. But with that said, we hit 2,000 subs. And that's not a small thing. That was a huge milestone for me. And again, thank you all for your support. That also means I'm buying a HOTAS to give away. So like I said last week, when 3.9 drops, I will make a video and I will make the announcement of who wins. All you need to do is comment and be subscribed to the channel. All of the details about the giveaway are in last week's video, so I encourage you to go watch that if you're unsure what the rules are or the stipulations. And like I said, it's giveaways, and if you're not sure why that's plural, you might also want to go back and watch a couple of the more recent videos made on this channel, because some of you are aware of a second giveaway that it's not like you have to be some sort of premier subscriber or something like that, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So with that said, thank you all. It's been fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you all in 3.9. Please stay safe out there, do what you can, and take care of each other just like you do in the verse. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you all next time.